Hey everybody, it's Jake Tapper from CNN State of the Union and factcheck.org, and this week we're going to take a look at a claim that President Trump has made repeatedly that his proposed border wall on the U.S.-Mexican border is already under construction. President Trump just made this claim at a bill signing on Wednesday. Take a listen.
We got $1.6 billion. We've already started the wall on the southern border. The wall is started. $1.6 billion. So important.
So is that true? Has the U.S. government, has the Trump administration already started construction on a border wall with Mexico? Not really. The president started making this claim after he signed what's known as the Omnibus Spending Bill for 2018 in late March, and that bill did allocate $1.6 billion for constructing a barrier on the U.S.-Mexico border. Just a fraction of the $25 billion he asked for, but still $1.6 billion. Now, that money was primarily put towards replacing existing segments of fence, not building President Trump's wall. Now, in total, this $1.6 billion is going to go towards installing barriers on about 40 miles worth of border where there wasn't any barrier before. But keep in mind, this new barrier that I'm talking about from the $1.6 billion, this is fencing. This is not a border wall. And that's pretty important when you consider the big promise that President Trump made repeatedly on the campaign trail. The difference between a wall and a fence is something that used to matter a great deal to Mr. Trump. He tweeted out during the campaign, quote, "Jeb Bush just talked about my border proposal to build a, quote, fence. It's not a fence, Jeb, it's a wall," all caps. And there's a big, all caps, difference. Now, since the election, President Trump has had a lot of things to say about the wall. He has said that fencing can be used for some areas. He's talked about the wall and whether or not it should be see-through. But he's made it very clear, quote, "A wall, a real wall, is what he wants." In fact, his administration has ordered prototypes about what that wall will look like. And what this is nothing like those prototypes. And that's not by accident, because the Omnibus Spending Bill specifically forbade any of that $1.6 billion from being used on any border barrier design that was not, quote, "operationally effective as of May 2017. That is, importantly, before the prototypes had been constructed. That means that this bill was explicitly written to avoid providing funding for President Trump's chosen border wall. In sum, there is $1.6 billion that's being used, and some of it will be used on new barriers, but all of this stuff is fencing. It's not a border wall. It's not the prototype. It's not what the president promised. A reminder, you were certainly entitled to your own opinion, Mr. President, not to your own facts. I'm Jake Tapper from CNN State of the Union and factcheck.org.